Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and huge announcement. This is probably the biggest announcement in 2020 in Magic. This is even bigger than the paid tournament. Although this thing costs money and the tournament gives you money, okay, debatable. But for such a big video, we need the biggest of sponsorships. Are you ready? Raid Shadow Wallet VPN for Men wants me to remind you to shave your balls and put a picture of them on a metal plate on the wall. And then that metal plate can generate coupon codes that'll save you money while shopping online. So go check out Raid Shadow Wallet VPN for Men at the link in the description. So you know how Wizards brought out Modern Horizons and it was kind of a disaster in every measurable way? I mean, it was no iconic Masters or Masters 25. It did outperform them from what I saw. But it was basically Modern Masters without a single Modern reprint that we actually needed. It was just taking Eternal crap and throwing it into Modern. And these were handpicked. They're like, this will save Modern. This will up the diversity. Oh, we're improving Modern so much. And then several of them, I don't even know how many at this point, got banned. People looked at cards, they're like, you can't do that. You can't just let people in Modern do that. You cannot add this to Modern. What the hell were you thinking? And the Wizards like, no, we're fine. We know what we're doing. And then like a month later, they're like, okay, yeah, whoops. I mean, when you take a mechanic everybody hates and then make it better, then shocker, everybody plays that deck, everybody's pissed, and then you got to roll it back. Like, what were they thinking? So that was a useless, just virtually dead on arrival, hated product compared to an actual Masters set. But they said, I think they announced after Iconic Masters that they were discontinuing Masters, I guess after the next one. And then the very last one was Ultimate Masters, which sold amazingly well. So they put in a card that was worth on average $98 and then upped the price by about $100. People who don't know how math or value calculations work were kind of pissed about that. Then again, you either have 250 or you have 350 and you might not have both. I kind of get it. But yeah, it sold like crazy. It maintained its value. The cards went up, months later, and yeah, just good product. Ton of reprints, cool. Fast forward to 2020, Modern is unplayable. You need $2,000 to build anything. The mana bases are out of control and there's $100 fetch lands. So it turns out when you stop reprinting cards for Modern and Commander, and then more people come into the game and cards are lost or sold or whatever, then you need more of the cards. I guess Wizards didn't know that, unfortunately, so it would seem they also weren't aware that the Masters sets were their best-selling products ever, despite the 2 bombs that they put out in a row. And the card choices were a little bit weak, but if you actually do the math, the box EV, like a day before the spoilers started, were $400 plus. Okay, so the fact that they're selling them for less than that, cool, good deal. But the fact that they announce them, that usually clears, 30% of the value right there. And then once the reprints actually hit people's hands, it drives it down even more. And then if they do a second wave, forget about it. So they started off good. I think they made appropriate choices, kind of. They made some mistakes. Like there were cards where they're only $10 because they haven't been printed in 15 years and it was a rare in a set that nobody bought. So 10,000 of the card exist or some ridiculous number like that, and the demand is only like 20,000, so the card's really expensive. And there's not enough to go around, and then they go and print 100,000 of it, and it hits $1, and they wonder what happened. Like, really? You want to know why that crashed so quick, Wizards? Really? So some of the choices, they looked good, but, I mean, come on. You want durable value, get your ass out some fetch lands. Get some universal staples. Put some Birds of Paradise in there. Put some counter spells in there that are popular. Come on, put a Disallow in there. Meddling Mage, classic, universal. People want it, people need it, people play it. Reprint the Commanders from the Commander sets going all the way back to the beginning. People always need those. So in both of the failed Masters sets, it was their card choice that was a small problem, but the bigger problem was the sheer volume that they sold to Channel Fireball, Card Kingdom, some of the other major ones, because they simply sold too many at too low of a price online. But number one was the High Lord Douchebag to end all douchebags on eBay, Sports and More. They pre-sold 5,000 and then I think they sold like another 5. They literally sent this dinky little shit store out in the middle of nowhere, 10,000 boxes or more, which the shadiness behind who they really are, they're using a front and the returns are fake and just, it is one giant corrupt shitstorm that people have been just demanding, not even begging, but demanding that Wizards do something about for years. Finally, something happened to them and they disappeared. I heard they're trying to make their own website or something. Listen to me, people. Do not support these people in anything they do, okay? They deserve to go bankrupt. They deserve to drop dead the next time they leave their house due to Zeus striking them with a lightning bolt. What they did to single-handedly ruin entire product launches It's unforgivable. They have personally cost me $5,000 to $10,000 in lost sales and lost value. But Wizards was like, oh, I guess we don't need to patch this hole. And then, yeah, pre-ordering for, $155 a box on eBay a month out. They were either actively trying to sabotage Wizards or they just didn't give a shit how much money they made. Oh, $4 profit a box. Okay, whatever. Or they were a distributor and they were getting it at distributor prices. That's the other theory. And then they were selling it under a front, but it was really them and it was like a shell company and, That was the majority of what went wrong with those two Masters sets, is how they gave them out and who they gave them to and in what volume and what they sold it for. And not just sold it for, but pre-sold it for without knowing the entire contents. Okay, those pre-orders were open for such a low price that that product was dead on arrival no matter what you did. This time around, I suspect they're not going to do that. In fact, I don't know how the hell they're even going to get these printed. I don't know how they're going to get them shipped, and I don't know how they're going to send them to stores that aren't even open. But who knows? This might turn into a disaster, but basically this has all been leading up to they're bringing Masters back because Masters is money. Reprints are money, singles are money, and I have no problem with Wizards targeting the most expensive stuff. People are like, oh, it's a cash grab, it's greedy, they're making money on the secondary market even though they ignore it. I mean, that's one way to look at it. My way is every time they do this, it's their game, they made the cards, they invented it, they printed it. Why can't they make money on reprints? Oh, look, this card they made is fun and interesting and people want to play with it. So make another one and sell it. People want your product, make more of it and sell it to them. Like what country are you from where they don't do that? Capitalizing on a long-term investment of creating and maintaining eternal formats and stuff, yeah, they should do that. Simultaneously, it's a win-win for Wizards and the customer because the customer gets, well, not only if you buy it and sell it, you'll probably make a profit day one, but if you actually just need the cards, don't even touch the whole thing, wait a couple weeks, oh look, the cards I need are half the price now. Cool, I can afford to play Commander in Modern. Hooray for me. And the Wizards rakes in a mountain of money, likely in the 100 million plus gross income level. I mean, nobody really knows the print volumes of these, but at like $2 something a box retail, I heard the distributor price might be like 110. Oh, that said, that's past Masters sets. This one's going to be differently priced, I heard. But yeah, it's a cash grab. It's low effort. They just need to make it draftable, and that's it. And then it's just all reprints. So it's low effort, it's high money, and it helps the community out, keeps the other formats affordable. There is nothing wrong with Wizards selling a Masters set, other than they keep screwing it up and sending it to Sports and More. Oh, and competing with their own sellers with their own Amazon store. That's a bit shady too. Remember when Masters used to be WPN only? Pepperidge Farms remembers. As soon as they made it a free-for-all, and even they let me buy 18 grand worth of it, and I didn't even have a WPN location, that is doomed from the get-go. So anyway, this new Master set that they're bringing back is called Double Masters. Now keep in mind, this is after they said, we are never bringing back Masters. It is canceled as a product line. We are never going to print it again. And now they're doubling down. If you didn't see that pun coming, then I can't even help you at this point. But they're doubling down on this one because, well, let's just read the announcement. 2 rares, 2 foils, 2 powerful. Oh, now we're doing phonetic puns. Announcing Double Masters, a set so filled to the brim with powerful and popular reprints. First frickin' sentence right there. Popular reprints. Come on, that's my shit right there. That we've announced it twice. No, seriously, they actually posted the announcement twice with like 2 slightly different headlines on Daily MTG. And I actually find that a little funny despite it being like boomer dad humor. So in other words, it was either Blake or Mark's idea. So they say we put 2 rares or mythic rare cards in each pack. There is going to be an ordering and variance problem if it's 2 rare or 2 mythic rare, not just 2 rare slot cards at full mixed randomness. Because anytime that they line it up to make sure that one mythic goes with another mythic, like basically Battle Bond with the bonded cards, one, the only facility that can do that is in Japan, which is good because they're way higher quality, and 2, there are, like I said, some issues with randomness and it, not being. So I hope they phrased that wrong. They kind of misspoke there, and it's not, rare, or mythic without the opportunity of getting 1 rare, 1 mythic, because that would be really bad. This is admittedly a strange time to be announcing a new product, but even as we all deal with the realities of how COVID-19 is shaping the world, it's good to have something to look forward to. That is true, and I am. Although I can't get this from my distributor anymore because I closed my shop. So there goes a couple $1,000s that I badly needed in profit down the toilet. I'm gonna have to try to bribe a local store to order me about 10 grand worth. And even then, they're going to have to, like, I won't say bribe, because that's definitely not how they do things at Southern Hobby at all, ever, never. They super aren't famous for that. They'll have to politely convince Southern Hobby to send them more than they would normally get allocated. I hope they have a high charisma score / persuade attempt skill level. What? You say you saw a video where Rudy from Alpha Investments said that his distributor called him up and said if you pay like $6 more per box, we'll send them all to you instead of local gaming stores that badly need them? We're going to send them to your fake ass instead of actual stores with actual people that actually play Magic in the actual WPN program. If you just pay slightly more per box, we'll rip them off, tell them that we're sold out, and sell them to you instead? What? That's crazy. I've never heard of that. So anyway, back to the announcement. We're just going to give you a little bit of information here. Well, what else is new? But make sure you tune in today, March 21st at 2:30 on Twitch TV Magic. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so I guess that horse has already left the barn. Not that I was going to go watch that horse. I was busy out there hustling, man. It was hot as shit out, and I was sweating. I was doing real work. Lifting stuff, buying stuff, selling stuff, hustling, man. I'm on the streets. Selling scrap metal, hitting up auctions, thrift shops, friggin' Facebook Marketplace. I will take this OG shit that I used to do any day over my stupid job that I just quit last week. So by the way, make sure you support Raid Shadow Wallet VPN for Men. So anyway, they say if you do keep reading, you'll see how you can help pick what preview cards we unveil later today. I don't give a shit, just give me the full list. If we head on over to mythickspoiler.com, pardon me, that might be mythicspoiler.com, you can just see them all, so... Well, all the ones that they chose to release, not all of them. There's, actually, in this master set, it's actually really high. There's 332 unique cards. It's been quite a while, but I think it's more normally like 252 to like 274 or something in that neighborhood. So that's actually kind of cool. If they expand it way above to like mid 300s, they're putting out more reprints that people need while simultaneously putting out less of each reprint. Because if you've got, 70 different rares instead of 50 different rares, but you print a static amount of boxes, instead of printing 100,000 copies of one, you print, 70 or 80,000 copies of one rare. So you don't just bomb the market really hard, but you also help out more people with more reprints by getting a wider spread. And then maintain the value of the set better. That's why, actually a long time before the Mystery Booster came out, I had said, why don't they just do a 1,000 card reprint set? Because then you're not going to overflood the market with anything, and they could literally just reprint every reprint that needs to be reprinted. And then they did. Clearly they watched my channel. Oh, by the way, spoilers at the end of this video for what they leaked so far. So, release date, August 7th, 2020. I can't believe they didn't put a disclaimer on that. I mean, I'll add, it might be that date. It might get delayed, just saying. So this is 332 unique cards. We've got 24 packs per booster box, which is typical. I think maybe the first Masters one didn't do that. Let's just say they also didn't price it right or really know what they were doing. It turned out to be very lucrative for resellers, and they were kind of mad that the resellers made all the money on their fancy new product. But, MM2 was good. Really nothing wrong with it. So they did fix it the very next time without really ruining the product. Oh, except I think MM2 had those stupid paper things where you could reseal them. That was bad. Yeah, it wasn't in booster plastic. It was in like little like paper foldy slots with like glue that you could just remelt. I had a hilarious video where I said like opening the best MM2 pack ever, and it was just like a bunch of Ace of Spades or something I put in there. I think I put in like some Pokemon and some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm like, whoa, look at this. And it was clear as day sealed, except that I opened it with a razor blade and remelted it. So they're not doing that again, I would suspect. But yeah, it's going to be a 15 card booster pack. Okay, it's going to have 2 rares and 2 foils per pack. Also, it is suspected that they're going to keep the $9.99 MSRP, which they don't do MSRPs anymore, but like, let's be honest. They're going to keep the $9.99 target marketability amount level thing. It's an MSRP. Because they're selling these on Magic Online for $6.99, which is the normal price for the online digital version of these master sets if the paper ones cost $9.99. That said, in the new system and at most stores, you'll probably be able to pay $8 to $9. I will say, though, the very next line is 2 non-foil showcase box topper cards are included in each booster box. So 2 of them, so it's a double box topper, both non-foil. That could add enough that they either have like an anticipated targeted secret MSRP that's higher, or they're just going to let the market push the price higher. But then again, the per pack price is one thing. If a store pops it open and then they just keep the box topper and then just reduce the price down to $9.99 a pack, then it doesn't really matter what the box MSRP was, you're buying the packs. Now, if you're buying an entire box, prepare to potentially pay a pretty high price, like well above $200, I would suspect. Hard to say till we know the distributor price, let's just put it that way. So it's going to be available in English, French, German, Simplified Chinese, and Japanese. That is a lot more than they normally do. They usually either do 1 or 3 languages, I believe. For side products and reprint products like this, I should say. So the description here is we've doubled everything about Double Masters, double the rare slots, double the box toppers, double the first picks in draft. Oh yeah, hey. Double the announcement articles. That was kind of funny once again. That's right, you heard correctly. In addition to double the rares and foils in every pack, every box of Double Masters will come with 2. Oh, I just got that. I was like, why'd they put in 2? Wonder why. Non-foil showcase box toppers, and they're basically borderless alternate art. So, yeah. They're pulled from a pool of 40 fan favorite cards and beautiful full art treatments. And in keeping in the spirit of doubling your experience, we'll be replacing collector's boosters with something called VIP edition for this product only. Why would a Masters reprint product even have a collector's booster? So they renamed it probably to not have us all call it the collector's booster, but like this, collector's boosters are for standard. I don't get why they're doing this. And they're not going to tell us shit about it. So they say we'll have more details on what that is as we get a little closer to release. So there's going to be 2 versions. One's going to be more expensive. It's going to have a bunch of alternate art and foils. It's going to drive down the prices and crash it just like it did for Ikoria and Eldraine. Good idea, guys. You know, honestly, with these packs containing 2 rares and 2 foils, I actually wonder if they're going to be like $15 to $20. I mean, there's still 24 per box, but if they start, asking, $300 a box at the distributor level, guess what? You're paying $5, So these might be so horribly expensive. But, I mean, if you think about it, the price isn't really going up. You're getting 2 packs for every 1 pack because you get 2 foils and 2 rare slots. So if people are like, oh, the price went up. Well, once again, not really, not necessarily. But if they do manage to pull these off for $9.99, you're basically paying $5 a pack. Now, I should mention when we're talking about print volumes and stuff, if every pack contains 2 of every rare, but then they're still going X amount of boxes and 24 packs per box, they just doubled the print volume of every reprint they just did. 200%? That's going to take a chunk out of these prices. So that's the goal. It makes me a little bit more leery about buying or holding on to these, leaving them sealed, reselling them 2, 3, 4 years later, or even opening them day one. But see, that's how it works. You guys are in a wonderful position. If it looks like a bad opening value prospect, don't buy any of it, just buy the singles. In fact, wait a week, then buy the singles. If it looks like a really good value prospect and you're almost guaranteed to get, 30-40% above what you paid for the average pack to open the average pack, then buy the packs. And then just, buy list, store credit, get what you really need or trade for what you need. So whatever one is more financially lucrative, do that one. So whether a set is terrible or great, it's still a reprint set. You're still going to be able to get the cards you want for cheaper, and you might, on top of it, if it's a really good set, make money off it. It's a win either way. You just got to be careful to do the right thing. Unfortunately, they are just going to take a big, thick, wet fire blanket and throw it right on top of the inferno that is your excitement with the next statement. Now, to quell one rumor before it begins, there are no fetch land reprints in this set. F***ing why? Oh, cool, I can finally build my modern deck. I'm gonna go get, this card, and this card. Oh, wait, the mana base is still $1,000. Whoops. Everybody needs to start with a mana base in every deck. Okay, so if you don't reprint that, the amount of demand for the rest of the cards in the deck is pretty damn low. Just saying. That was a truly ridiculously enormous oversight on their part. If this reprint set ends up doing what it always does, which is encourage people to finally build a deck because, card availability cool, that's actually going to drive up the cost of fetch lands because now more people will be building more decks with a grand total of 0 additional supply of fetch lands. So if you have some, sit on them. And if you have the ability to, buy some up. They are about to go up, I can virtually guarantee you of that. Wait till you hear the next sentence. Let me just read this together so you get the real punch of it. Now, to quell one rumor before it begins, there are no fetch land reprints in this set. We know we told you we'd be making fetch happen in a later set this year. Because this is the year of fetch. Remember that? Remember when they said that? Well, they were full of shit. So they say, we promise we will, but Double Masters is not that set. Well, it makes me excited for what they're going to announce next. Whatever it is going to devalue your Secret Lair Fetch Land edition. But they really timing-wise should have either brought that out before this so that you've got the mana base available and people actually want to buy these cards that are in this one, or they should have just put the damn fetches in this product. So that sucks, but okay, let's move on. You will, however, be able to snag sweet cards like, oh, I don't know, Blightsteel Colossus in Double Masters. And because we like you so much, we'll even show you it now alongside the ultra snazzy Showcase Box Topper Edition. So that's one of the 40 that they did an alternate art job to. You get 2 shots at it, not bad. Yeah, everybody kind of freaking hates this card, but it's like $70. I mean, a 12/12 that nobody in their right freaking mind is going to pay 12 for. They're just going to cheat it into play somehow with Trample, Infect, and Indestructible. I mean, they may as well have just named it the Cancer Golem. So let's jump on the rest of the spoilers we know so far. Atraxa, cool reprint there, big money. A lot of people like her as a commander. A lot of people hate her as a commander, too. In the last 2 years, there's so much degenerate crap you can do with her now that she probably should just be banned. But, well, in the meantime, here she is. And I want to say she was like $70 previously, but then they threw her into Commander Anthology Volume 2, and now she's floating in around $40-ish. Kind of fluctuates a lot. And of course, they got the Showcase version, which means that she'll potentially be in the box topper. Next up, they got another $70 card here, Doubling Season. I hate this card, you hate this card, everybody hates this card. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice as many. If that sounds broken, you are correct. Oh, the second part, if an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice as many. Yeah, including like loyalty, including actual counters. Yeah, with like proliferated, it's absolutely insane. And unsurprisingly enough, it isn't legendary, so you can have multiple effects of this out at one time. Wonderful. Thanks, Wizards. Next up, we got Kalia the Vast. I'm not real familiar with her, but she's a triple color 4-cost 2/2 flying legendary creature human cleric. That's a lot of things, and when she attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking that opponent. Oh, you were waiting for me to say exile it at the end of turn? Yeah, me too. The card doesn't say that. Now I remember this bitch. They should have called this Modern Masters Broken Shit Edition. And finally, of course, Mana Crypt. 0-drop artifact, and at the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, it deals 3 damage to you, and then you can tap it for 2 colorless mana. Last I heard, this card's between like 150 and 200, depending upon the version. So that is a lot of money to pile into the set so far. Looks pretty good. It's 4 cards that people really don't tend to like. Unless they're the ones playing it, but then clearly they're the one with the problem. But yeah, it looks like they're going all out on the cash in this one. And they didn't say anything about like the Showcase, box topper cards not also being in their regular form in the packs. It would be weird if they were. So I assume, with 2 shots at it, you got 2 shots at Blightsteel, another $50 card, $70 card, $30 card. Looking pretty good. You never know. They might go really conservative with it. If they went really conservative with half the cards, you still get 2 rares per pack and 2 foils. So like, whatever, go for it. But yeah, the final actual sale price, once this actually comes out, should be interesting. Once I have information about the vendor price on this, actually, nothing's stopping me from checking right now. Nope, it is not posted yet. Now, I spent way too much time out in the sun today, obviously, because I thought that August came after May. It turns out it's a lot of months out. So that actually kind of makes sense that it's not quite posted yet, but, they usually take pre-orders 6 weeks at a time, so... sometime in the near future, we'll be seeing a price. I'm going to tentatively put in a pre-order of 10,000 a piece at 2 different stores and see what happens with that. And yeah, hopefully I can finally make some money on this after being out of the Magic world sales-wise for like a year. More like a year and a half. So let me know what you guys think about the idea of this. What's your biggest reprint that you want? What's your stupid doubling-related pun cards that will definitely be in here? Obviously, Desolation Twin will be in here. I'm just calling it right now. Hey, leave any comment down in the comment section about this awesome announcement. At least we got some good news coming out of Wizards. I don't really see a real big downside to this at all. It's much needed, and they just assured us that fetch lands are coming later. So, hey, that's cool. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.